Why are we in the bathroom, you ask? Well, for the erotic atmosphere, obviously. Well, no, I have to disappoint the weirdos among you. The reason is simply I don't have a garage or a workshop, and this can get messy. So bathroom it is, because it's easy to clean. Okay, so this video, as you can tell by the title, is about how to remove rust. And there's a reason why I called it How I Remove Rust rather than How To, because, well, I'm not a metal worker or other expert on this, and I don't claim to be. So there may be better ways to do it. This is just what has been working very well for me, and I'm going to show that to you. So sometimes you may get rust on a sword because, you know, either you neglected it, like in this case, because this is a sword that hasn't been working very well in the tests I did, and I'm not terribly fond of it. So yeah, admittedly, this one I just neglected, but there may be other reasons too. Maybe you did some cutting with a number of swords and you forgot one of them, you know, to clean and oil it, or maybe it's just been a while since you oiled it and you had it in storage, and you know, after a while the oil just dries up and you may get rust on there. So what do you do in that case? You can see this is, you know, there's quite a substantial amount of rust. Let's get a little closer here. You can see that. What to do about it? I used to do this by hand, but there is a much better way. A rotary tool will make this a quick and efficient task, and there is a wide range of polishing wheels. These here, for example, I got on Amazon. They're between 80 and 320 grit. So this you can use if you have to remove scratches as well. And there's also Emery Compound. This is black emery. They come in different colors. So depending on what material you're working with and how aggressive you want the polishing to be. There's also different cotton wheels. Right now I've got one of these on there, and I'm going to try the larger ones now. So yeah, all you have to do is grab one of those, and there may be, you know, some differences in how suitable the individual wheels are. There are different types, different cotton wheels and sizzle cloth wheels and all of that. Okay, and for the polishing compound, there are different options, but personally I like Flitz. I've had good experiences with it. I got the liquid stuff recently. Before that I used this, which is a little thicker. I have to say I prefer this. This is not as runny as this, but both work. Doesn't really matter too much. And so this is why you want to do that in a place that you can either clean easily or don't have to worry about getting dirty, because this is where it sprays. So just put some of that on the wheel. Doesn't have to be too much. Like so. And then, of course, don't forget eye protection for this. And then we can go ahead. There you can see just how quick and efficient that is. Does the job really nicely. And as I said, you don't need a whole lot. Also, if you're worried about heating the steel, that doesn't happen at all in this case. This stuff is pretty soft, and you don't need to crank it up to full speed, so not a problem. And there you can see how efficient that is. Satisfying, isn't it? And when it starts removing less rust, then you can just add some more polishing compound. That was maybe a bit much, but oh well. Just gonna have a bit more of a spray. There we go. Bit more here. Sometimes I also just put it directly on the surface and then rub the wheel on it. Either way. So yeah, that's almost done already, and I've been at it for what, 5 minutes? This is really quick, as you can see. Needs a bit more fine work, of course, and there is some more left on the sides here. You can see the wheels have to be replaced fairly frequently, but they're not expensive, so no big deal. As I said, you could also do this by hand, but it's just not as efficient, and the speed here is pretty important, because if you do, you know, slow strokes with a lot of pressure, you're actually removing metal, so you're actually cutting, whereas this at the high speed, this is just a buffing action, so it just removes the rust itself, but it shouldn't remove any actual steel, or, you know, very minimal in case of the Emery compound, I suppose. And then to clean it and check the progress, I like to just wipe it with a cloth, kitchen towel, shop towel, whatever you have. And then afterwards with some oil. The oil helps remove dirt, and can be a wide variety of oils. Really, this happens to be Camellia oil, but you can also use a bunch of other things, including automatic transmission fluid. That works quite well too, and it's cheap. So yeah, that's just to take a good look at it, remove all the residue, and see if any more polishing needs to be done. So what can you do to prevent rust in the first place? Well, obviously keeping it dry and clean. If you use it regularly for cutting practice and always clean and re-oil it afterwards, you should be fine. If you store it for a while, I would recommend this stuff here. Renaissance wax. So this lasts a lot longer than oil, and this gives it this hardens on the surface and protects it long term. So you just need a little bit of that, and then rub it on the metal surface, and that should last for quite a while and keep it rust free. And that's pretty much it. So hope that answered the question of how you can remove rust and maintain the steel. This applies to a lot of other things as well, of course, not just swords. It could be knives and tools and, you know, just about any metal surface really. You just need to pick the correct polishing compound or abrasive grit and then work your way up, things like that. So yeah, hope you found it helpful, and thanks for watching. I'll leave all the relevant links in the video description below as usual.